Sources for one of the masterpieces of 20th century music, Sinfonia. It's introduced by conductor Simon Rattle and the composer Luciano Berio.
Plusieurs fils adultes, à l'exception du dernier né qui s'appelait Azaré. Et puis surtout, un groupe que c'est-à-dire la chasse.
chain, taking turns to talk. This represents at least 1,000 words. I was not counting on. I may well be glad of it. Written in red, counting the seconds while nothing was happening but the obsession of it. Right to the end, everything yields, opens, ebbs, flows like a play of waves.
Yes, I feel the moment has come for us to look back.
Yes, I feel the moment has come for me to look back. I must not forget this. I have not forgotten it. But I must have said this before, since I say it now. They think I am alive, not in a womb either. Well, so there is an audience. It's a fantastic public performance.
Curtain comes down for the ninth time. You never noticed you were waiting. You were waiting alone. That's the show. Keep going. I should say my oldest child, if I can remember it.
I've said this before, since I say it now. overcome the incessant noise, for as Henri says, if this noise would stop, there'd be nothing more to say. You try and be reasonable. Perhaps you are blind, probably deaf. The show is over. All is over. But where then is the hand? The helping hand? Or merely charitable? Or the hired hand? It's a long time coming to take yours and draw you away. That is the show. That isn't for nothing. Waiting alone, blind, dead. We don't know where. We don't know for what. For a hand to come and draw you away somewhere else. Perhaps it's worse. Where now? Going? When now? They don't know who they are.
Did you hear? Stop! Stop!
Keep going.
Hören Sie auf!
I troubled no one, but I did. And after each group disintegration, the name of Mayakovsky hangs on the clean air. Nicole Tibbels, Bickley, Daryl Runswick, Peter Hall, Gordon Jones, Terry Edwards. But now it's done, it's over, we had our chance. There was even for a second hope of resurrection, or almost. Mein junges Leben hat ein Ende. must collect our thoughts. The unexpected is always upon us, in our rooms, in the street, at the door, on a stage. Thank you, Mr. Simon Rattle.
voilà. Voilà.
Partiel provisoire. Ce dernier commentaire n'est pas convaincant.
d'importance aspect de nos thèmes.
Mais pourtant...
Les termes sont là, partout ailleurs, mais selon qu'il s'agit de rétablir la mort ou d'assurer la résurrection.
De
I think it's a piece about a symphony. I think if you were to say that Joyce's Finnegan's Wake was a novel, you'd be not doing it full justice at all. It's an irritating, exasperating piece about writing, and I think this is not quite so irritating, but just as funny in many ways, about a symphony and about the idea of myths.
First of all, let me tell you, Sinfonia is not written in the form of a classical Sinfonia. The title of this work must be taken etymologically, if you want, from the Greek, sin and phone, sounding together, basically. And in this case, it's sounding together of voices and instruments, 8 voices and an orchestra, and sounding together of different texts, and sounding together of the different musics, if you want. First is exposing, if you want, the basic ingredients of the work, and is using a text by Claude Lévi-Strauss, the great French anthropologist, and taken from a book, a well-known book, Le Cru et le Cuit, the raw and the cooked. I mean, the raw material and the cultural process. They're cooking this raw material, if you want. Scientists in the history of our culture, like Freud, like Karl Marx, and many others, happens that they are also great writers. And Claude Lévi-Strauss is a great writer too. And so I'm using these texts as literary fragments, and as a beginning of narrations, if you want. Not completely fulfilled, not developed. They are left suspended in a way.
It's basically 2 chords which are terribly haunting, and they're chords. He's found a way to use thirds, and now every composer trying to grapple with the problems of the 12-tone language or the atonal language and trying to link it with earlier music has had to come up with some kind of solution of what he uses as the basis. And the chord that always comes into my mind whenever I think of the Sinfonia is this chord that sounds again and again and again, and he uses them like a mantra. And there's the other chord in which the first movement is made up of, which has a fifth at the bottom, and then just all thirds. And that's actually the basis for the first movement.
There's a second part that's totally different. It's a homage to Martin Luther King. The black martyr was murdered in 1968, and the text of this part is only his name, O Martin Luther King, which includes all the vowels, if you want. And the musical process is also a process of revealing gradually, step by step, the name of Martin Luther King. So there is a kind of a little journey from sound to meaning.
Has a quality of immobility which is very, very special and very unusual. I mean, most music of that type, one senses that there's some kind of processional feel, whereas this hangs with the occasional little flecks of sound.
Again, a third, but it's not a major
Again, yes,
third.
those two notes, and then he just adds.
We always experiment with language, also because language itself is it's a ground of experiment. Every time we talk, in a way, we search, we experiment this miraculous connection between sound and meaning. And in music, of course, this is very fundamental. The fact that the sound of a voice, or a sound of a clarinet, they become a meaningful event because they are part of a vision, of a construction, of a musical thought. The connection between the sound of 8 voices and the sound of the many voices of the orchestra are so integrated, so assimilated, that you don't know what is what, which is what. And when this happens, of course, you lose contact with the word, with the phrase, with the sentence for a moment. Then you go back to the sentence, to the semantic aspect of language. And of course, if you go back to the language after having had the experience of the sound of the language, separated from its immediate associations, meanings, what you experience is something different, something new. The third part, in the central part, is a homage to Gustav Mahler, in fact, as a skeleton that connects everything. There is a scherzo, the third movement of Mahler's Second Symphony. And why this scherzo, not another music? Well, the difficult question, because I must confess that at the beginning I was thinking to take Beethoven's, a movement of Beethoven, a late Beethoven string quartet. Then I was very interested by this type of stream of consciousness flowing of Mahler's music, and the fact that Mahler's music in a way contains, seems to contain to me, at least to my ear, the totality of history of music. And so I used that as a skeleton, as a main support for this third part, and which is proliferating constantly, making reference to other music, known music, be Debussy, Bach, Brahms, Schoenberg, and many also contemporaries. Why this? Because this third part can be seen also as a journey through harmony, if you want, from simple harmony to complex harmony. And every time an harmonic region is touched, there are echoes, concrete echoes of from history of music.
This represents at least 1,000 words. I was not counting on. I may well be glad of it.
He told us where he wrote it. He was in Palermo.
Palermo in Sicily, yes.
And he said that he got the whole piece in his head, but he particularly had to get the quotes right. And
although he did say that he deliberately didn't get some of the quotes right. Some of them are just remembered, and some are exact because of what he happened to have.
That's right. He
the scores
he
was able to
get.
get.
He went to the Palermo Public Library and listed 16 scores that he needed, and they had them all. And
somebody's looking over this.
Yes, he still can't believe that was the case.
And he said it came bubbling out. Didn't
Yes.
he? It really was very easy to compose.
Keep going. I should say my own.
I see the presence of Mahler as a presence of a flowing river, if you want. Sometimes you see it, sometimes it disappears underground, sometimes appears again. And the text there is very complex. The main source is Samuel Beckett, the unnameable, and Beckett's text works in relation to the other texts, if you want, as Mahler music functions in relation to the other musics. And so, as Mahler proliferates into different musical regions, harmonic regions, so Beckett's text proliferates into other texts. From the most simple, like everyday speech, phrases, to other reference, more complex, more hidden.
If we were rooted, that's bombs and it isn't someone doesn't know what it is. Maybe a kind of competition on the stage. Just
I think we have to go back to what Joyce did to language. Now that Finnegan's Wake, which was a work that I thought I was going to read once, but I did manage to get through a number of pages, each taking a day or two each. It's a piece which doesn't use words in a linear sense, although some of the sentences can make a coherent whole, but it takes words 2 or 3 at a time, and it's very rare that groups of words will have anything less than 4 or 5 different meanings. And that's similarly true in this piece. I would say that the use of the Mahler's Second Symphony, and then the use of all these quotations from pieces written before and since, is like the equivalent of Joyce's puns. And of course, the minute you're settled on, oh, that's La Valse, it's disappeared. If you try and look at it, you've lost half of it.
With all of Berio, I mean, he uses text in a way sometimes as a vehicle to get the singing going, rather than as something that's to be meaningful as a text itself.
And sometimes he does it for his own fun. I mean, it's a lot. Something about the third movement, which I've always felt, is that, of course, it's actually very funny as well. And it's very witty, and the more you look into it, the funnier it is. I mean, the way he uses the Beckett language to usher in pieces. I mean, the way he alters Beckett's text so that he can usher a little tiny bit of the Pastoral Symphony in, which is always one of the... I mean, we've played it now 3 or 4 times, and the orchestra still are giggling at that point. I'm not surprised. It's meant to be funny.
It's late now. I shall never hear again the lowing cattle, rush and stream. In a chamber dimensions unknown, I do not move and never shall again on long road or short.
It's a wonderful kind of extension of the game one plays on a piano, of just taking a piece and embellishing it with all the little things. But somehow the things seem to run into each other without noticing. There's no sign of joins. And there's the feeling every time another thing comes, oh yes, that's just right. And each time I find I hear it, it sparks off more possibilities. I mean, the fact that La Valse sounds a bit like the Beethoven Ninth, that never occurred to me before.
Certainly not to Ravel.
Or to Beethoven. There's some very frightening things. There's one thing that always sends shivers up and down my spine from the Beckett text. It's near the end, where the tenor is saying what kind of marvellous public show it might be. It might be a free show. Suddenly it changes tone, he says, or it might be a compulsory show. The feeling that you might never get out of this movement.
Well, so that is an audience. It's a public show. You buy your seat, you wait, perhaps it's a free show. You take your seat, you wait for it to begin. Or perhaps it's compulsory. A compulsory show.
What I didn't realise until recently is that the Mahler scherzo itself is also full of allusions to other people's music. And the very end of the Mahler, for instance, is in C major minor. Whatever. He's taken the end of a Schumann song, and it's almost an exact quote, and the Schumann song is to do with a jilted lover watching the marriage celebration of his beloved from a distance without hearing the music. In fact, something that Mahler had often described without knowing it. And the Schumann sounds like this in D major.
Well, I think I should tell you, I don't think I'm sure about Luciano told us that he'd lately heard a performance of the Mahler scherzo, and he sort of looked aside to see if anyone could overhear, and he said, actually, I found it rather boring.
It's characteristic humility, isn't it, really?
Thank you, Mr. Simon Rattle.
The fourth movement of the Sinfonia is based very largely on the materials of the fourth movement of the Mahler, which starts... In fact, the whole movement plays around with these 2 notes and then adds also in thirds, but always returns to those 2 notes.
It's difficult to sing. I don't think Berio writes easy music to sing, and I don't think he intends it should be easy. I think he wants to make things difficult. He wants 100% as well of whatever emotion he's trying to convey. So although the notes themselves sometimes might appear easy, in fact it never is easy, because you're either at the extreme of dynamic, 4 Ps, for example, at the beginning, which is very difficult to sustain, or it's very slow, as in the second movement, or it's very loud.
I have to say that for a conductor, it's like suddenly stepping into some fabulous Rolls Royce. I mean, it's so smooth and efficient that, I mean, I was almost grateful when yesterday somebody made a mistake. It made me feel as though we were with human beings. It was quite an experience for all of us.
That was the only reason I did it, actually.
Thank you, absolutely. It's just encouraging.
I wrote the four parts, but I already started fifth. I had doubts about this. Then when I conducted the first performance, I even recorded, put on record, I realized the fifth part was necessary, was a really organic part of the work. And so after 3 months, the fifth part was finished.
It's a very joyful putting together of the thing, but it is also intensely violent and intensely destructive. And it says it's a synthesis, but it's also a dissolving and a tearing to pieces.
The fifth part takes all the four previous parts and combines them together. And everything is revisited again. So the fifth part has a relation with the four previous parts similar to the one that Mahler has inside of the third part, if you want.
This is obviously one of the major works of the century, and it's now, oh, it's interesting, it should have been written in 1968, which is, I mean, the year of the great year of protest in that way, which now seems very far away. And in fact, 68 ought to appear very far away. It's very much a child of its time, and it has the exuberance and the energy and the destruction of that time all bound in with it.
That is the, if you want, the most important political aspect, which is we are struggling even now. As everybody knows, we live in a very segmented, very chopped down, cut down, very differentiated world, and we're still looking for a connection between these different forces, different tendencies, different way of thinking, a way of living, a connection that possibly should not be money, but of different nature.